Hey, you wanna see mods? Like really cool mods? Then you've come to the right place, cause I'm going to showcase 10 survival mods in just half an hour. Where else are you going to get that level of dedication? And make sure to stick until the end, or at least skip, because the mods just keep getting better. Links to all the mods and info on how to install mods will be in the comments. And without further ado, let's start the video. 10 plus 1. Survival recipe with balance. And survival harvesting boost. So, Survival Recipe with Balance adds a bunch of new crafting recipes to the craft board. Most notable the recycle board, as well as plastic blocks, a low friction square mesh block, some screws and nuts, a master switch, new recipes for fertilizer, new and cheaper recipes for gasoline, a bunch of new wheels, more pipe thingies, lockers, and craftable component kits, and a bunch of new lights, ramps, a lot more decorative parts. So the recycle board is a black crafting board. We can use it to extract component kits out of parts, and we can use it to extract metal, scrap metal, beeswax, wood, plastic, and cotton. So you can now recycle all the leftover parts. And those are all the new wheels. Here we've got the bigger wheel and the biggest wheel. Here are the new sport wheels, which are especially lightweight. A new set of combat wheels, with less weight, more durability and more friction. As well as the crane wheel. So if you want to enrich your survival experience with more crafting recipes, more parts, the recycling and wheels, this mod is right for you. But what does the survival harvesting boost do? So metal should now drop more often when harvesting stones. Mods now drop new items such as batteries. So, right, we get more circuit boards from toad bots. And tape bots drop metal now. And we also get batteries from hay bots. Well, and even the farm bot drops new stuff, such as garment boxes, metal, more component kits, more circuit boards, and of course a warehouse key. Woks also now drop more wok steaks. Not only are wok steak drops now randomized, also wok milk drops, so we now get even more wok milk. Cotton is also randomized now, as well as pigment flowers, corn, and beeswax. Ooh, and hay bots drop more component kits as well. And amber drops more often as well. You also now get more seeds and crops if you pick up crops with vacuum pumps. So, if you're tired of the survival grind, this mod is for you. 9. Biofuel Mod. As the name suggests, this mod adds biofuel. Biofuel can be crafted from various seeds and vegetables as well as other biological items. Biofuel requires a new engine. The Biofuel Engine, which can be crafted as well. And lastly, there's a biofuel container, which works like any other container and can be crafted as well. The biofuel engine can be used like any other engine, you just need to put biofuel in there, and then you can enjoy your engine. It can even be upgraded like any other engine. And like any other engine, don't forget to connect it to a seat first. So, if you keep running out of fuel and are sick of oil diving, this mod might just be the right one for you. The only thing I miss would be a biofuel thruster. 8. Farmable Resources. So, this mod allows us to harvest even more resources with the vacuum pump. We can now build our very own oil pipeline. So I can harvest oil with a press of a button. And there we've got oil and water. Of course, water. This even works for clams. That alone should make this mod number 1. We can even harvest beeswax this way. Plop. And there we've got some beeswax. Corn, flowers, and cotton can be harvested this way too. If you want to automate resource collection and build crazy factories, then get this mod. 7. GPS and Map Mod. As you can probably see, this mod adds a compass to the game. So this way is west, this is south, this is east, and here's north. And under it is even the exact degree at which we are looking. On the left side are the game coordinates, and the right side tells us the current chunk, which can be useful as raids are triggered on a per chunk basis. Additionally, this mod adds 2 new crafting recipes, the iMap and the satellite. We can use this new map and click on it, and we get the satellite picture. We can move around with WASD. We can use the scroll wheel to zoom in, and you can actually see it's fully 3D, and my tower is really long. So this is a really cool feature to get an overview of your map. And you can see that I can't move the map further to the right. And that's because we can also upgrade the map. And to upgrade the map we need satellites. If we put one satellite in our inventory, we can upgrade the map to level 2, and we can enjoy this cool animation. Ooh. Oh, this is truly epic. So yeah, well, our satellite is now in space. I think this even increased our zoom. And as you can see, I can now go this far. And now I'm going to do this for all the other upgrades. And at level 5 we can zoom out pretty far and move even further than the map is rendered. Which, by the way, I think I can change in the draw distance. Let's turn that to very high. But of course we can also set waypoints, so if I were to go to the packing station and press 2, I can create a waypoint there. And we can use the slider to adjust the color. And now we've got a waypoint. And we've got now a little waypoint icon here with a distance thing on it. Which is even cooler than what they added in the last beacon update. And of course we can add even more waypoints. And if you feel like there are too many waypoints on the screen at the same time, we can open the map and press 5 and turn down the view distance of those waypoints. And now we can only see waypoints that are within 100 meters or whatever unit that thing uses. So if we move over 100, the waypoint disappears. We can also go to an existing waypoint and press 3 to delete it. And if we press 4, we can delete all waypoints. So if your navigation skills suck as much as mine, this is the mod for you. 6. Fawx garments. This mod adds a new garment box to the game. You can find these new garment boxes by killing toad bots or hay bots. Not only does opening those boxes require no cotton, it's also much faster. And we've got a backpack full of street signs. And a spot gun. And no backpack. A ring. This could come in handy if I wasn't so goddamn lonely. Some pants with a farm mod part? Glue pants. Ah, farm mod claws. There seems to be a whole farm mod set. Fawx garments adds also other cosmetics such as new eye colors or piercings. Glowing piercings. Just look at the details. This thing has a mini spot cannon on the arm. Just appreciate the details of those glow sticks and the glue. This is what our backpack would actually look like. Just so much stuff. Well, I don't want to spoil the other outfits for you, but this mod is seriously amazing. The shiny garment box replaces the rare garment box, but you can find those rare outfits now in epic garment boxes, which also drop more often. On to the next one. 5. The Builder Bot Companion Bot mod. So I saw the amazing trailer and I was like, shut up and take my money! Like seriously, this mod is amazing! So what this mod does, it adds this chest-like item to the game, which can be crafted for just one metal block, way too cheap, and we also get a nice poster. If we press on that chest, we can unpack the Builder Bot. Here's the front. He's the friend you don't have but want to play scrap mechanic with. If we click on him again, he follows us around. He refines resources for us, which saves a shit ton of time. If he gets close to a wok, he will feed it with corn every 3 minutes. And of course, he will help us to fight those nasty hay bots. And of course, he refines their trash, which saves so much time. At night, he will provide light. Over time, his battery and health will go down. If you place a battery next to him, well, and batteries recharge his battery and fill up his health. And if you accidentally punch him, he won't listen to your commands for 10 seconds. You can also command him to guard the current position. So if a haybot would attack, it kills the haybot, hopefully. Well, and if one bot isn't enough, you can always have more than one bot. Oh my god, that's going to be so much corn. Plop, 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 plop. This mod is a real game changer and it makes grinding so much more enjoyable. It's definitely a must-have on my mod list. 4. Survival Player Forestry and Farming Mod. This mod allows us to grow trees and other resources. Trees will now regrow from stems after waiting for a long time, and by chopping down trees we can get tree seeds. And those tree seeds are of course also plantable. Corn also now provides seeds, and breaking beehives can drop queen bee kits, which we both can plant as well. And don't forget to even water beehives. Those bees must like it moist. Well, now let's wait until all the crops are fully grown. The crops are now fully grown. We've now got a birch tree, a spruce tree, a pine tree and a leafy tree, as well as some corn and some beeswax. So we did get some corn and some beeswax as well as new seeds. And we can chop the trees like any other tree. And remember, because there's a stamp, the tree will regrow. The new plants can also trigger raids, and you have to be careful since the maximum raid level has also been increased. If you enjoy farming stuff and want to farm more resources, then this is the right mod for you. 3. The Modpack for Survival, Challenge and Creative. The Modpack is super duper amazing. The survival implementation is just a bit basic. We can't craft the new parts in the craft bot, but that's why we are at the trader.
Welcome!
Because we can trade these new parts in for just 2 circuit boards each, which is pretty unbalanced for some of this stuff. But hey, at least you can get those parts without using cheats. So we've got diamond plate blocks, paintable glass blocks, glow blocks, invisible blocks, mirror blocks with high quality reflections, not like we can afford ray tracing anyway, bling blocks, game grid blocks, luxury blocks, smooth ice blocks, very low friction, another ice block, and rubber blocks with very high friction. Rubber blocks with very high friction. Yeah, those ice blocks are very slippery. An invisible bearing, 1 block tall suspensions for steering glitches, even more suspensions in all forms and sizes, and the mod piston, which can extend for quite a long distance. 256 blocks max, so yay! And it's still expanding and expanding. I think it reached its limit. Many more drivers, seats in all forms and sizes. Yeah, and here are even more. And a lot more buttons and switches. Like a lot of them. The parts you know and love in different form factors. 3x2 engine, Pico thruster, 1x1 thruster, small spud cannon, an even smaller spud cannon, a panel controller, a logic gate, and a timer panel. New light blocks, and we've got a decoupler which deletes itself, a clock, a laser sight, an X-ometer, which we can throw on our car to measure different things such as acceleration, velocity, speed, or even use it as a compass, a wireless router to send signals to different creations, a gravity module, which we can activate for zero gravity. Zero gravity! How do I get this thing? Ah! Yeah. A radar, which we can use to track these trackers, and dynamite, which explodes after 10 seconds. I probably should have stepped aside. And then there's a lot of smart and complicated stuff. I don't really know how these work. You can do some cool stuff with numbers, and all of these blocks are just all of the functions of the function block. So you can see that this is very complicated stuff. And if you want to learn more about this, I recommend checking out the Scrap Mechanic Mods channel. And especially the tutorials playlist. Here's a memory cell, a smart timer, and a numpad to enter stuff. And there are also ASCII blocks, and yeah, I had to enter this all manually. Yeah, my finger hurts. A smart engine, some kind of smart thruster, a WSD thruster, another kind of thruster, these speaker blocks, and a smart toadbot head. And lastly, there are wheels in all forms and sizes. Very small wheels, invisible wheels, weird wheels, combat wheels, sand wheels, very large wheels, chained wheels, and rims. So the Modpack is probably the most amazing mod ever, and if you haven't tried it so far, the link is in the description. If you like Scrap Mechanic, then go ahead and get this mod, because it's basically Scrap Mechanic on steroids. 2. Modscrap Survival Modpack. So, what does this mod do? First, we need to drive to the trader to find out. Because now we can trade the mod crafter for 2 caged farmers. With the mod crafter, we can craft all of the new items. We get a bunch of new wheels, which are all relatively cheap to make. We also get a number of new switches and buttons, a panic button, a big red button, and a code pad, and if we enter a password after creating like 123, this will be set as the password, and only if we type in the correct password, this thing will output a signal. The hand sensor is similar. The first one to use it will be the owner, and only the owner can activate it. Then we've got a joystick, a lock, and another switch. We can now also craft a tomato, blueberry, and item storage container. The item storage container functions like a normal chest. In the blueberry container we can only throw blueberries, and in the tomato container we can only throw tomatoes. We can also craft a mine pump and an oil container now. And with the push of a button we can simply pump oil. Oh, it's only 10 oil per geyser, I accidentally pumped 2 at the same time. Controllers are now available in new designs. One of the more interesting features is the addition of chemical gas, as well as the flex container and new engines. The flex container can store both gasoline and chemical gas. All flex engines can run with chemical gas and gasoline, but note that chemical gas is consumed twice as often than gasoline. The flex engine is like the gas engine, and it can be upgraded as well, all the way until level 5. And there are 4 power engines for hard work: the V6, the V8, the tractor engine, and the max power electric engine, which runs with batteries. But it sure has a lot of power. A number of survival items are now craftable. It also acts as a build protector. And if we stick this to our car and press F, we are the owner, and now this thing is protected, meaning we can't remove blocks, or add blocks, or place this thing on the lift. If we deactivate this thing, we can add blocks again, delete blocks, and not throw it on the lift. For that we need to remove that thing completely. We also have tilt sensors now, which can detect inclination. We have a remote control and camera now, which we can connect to the seat. We can use this as a point of view, and it's not really helpful with this car, but if you were to build a tank, this could come really in handy. We also get a compass and velocimeter, which we can add to our car. The altimeter detects altitude, and if I put this to 10 and drive into this little pond, you can see that the altimeter deactivates. And the accelerometer detects movement. We also get WASD sensors, which we can activate from a driver's seat. There's also radar, which can detect those trackers, a water sensor, and block letters, which we can use to write pretty much everything. And then there's a bunch of wireless stuff which I didn't get to work. An angle sensor that works like a gyroscope, I guess. And I didn't get the click-seated block to work either. But we've still got dynamite! Ah, good old dynamite. If you had enough of vanilla survival, then this extensive mods adds a bunch of new stuff. 1. Fant Mod survival features. The Fant Mod is probably the most extensive and well-integrated survival mod, and it's still under active development by Fant, who you can follow on his YouTube channel. As with any good survival mod, we can craft all the mod parts in the craft bot. We can also craft ember now, which is quite cheap, component kits from useless toadbot heads, and sunshakes, fertilizer containers, seed containers, and all toadbot heads. We get a clean block, which we can color to our likings, as well as many new and interesting building parts. Vacuum pumps have new features now. We can drop items and collect items, also suck items in and out of chests, also harvest corn, flowers, beeswax, and whatever else you can think of. There's a 6-way junction block now, allowing us to connect more things easily, like these vacuum pumps which throw water in 5 directions. The chest fill detector can detect whether a chest is empty, like this one, and if I put one item in this chest, this thing goes out, and if I fill the chest completely, the chest fill detector emits a signal. We can switch between the two modes, and the detector has to face the chest directly. Then we have an item detector, which now detects component kits, so if a component kit drops nearby, this thing emits a signal, and if I remove the component kit, this thing goes out. Smart chests work like regular chests, but we can apply filters such as metal, wood, or concrete, and if we now suck these items out of this chest, those chests will automatically filter them correctly. So the wood now goes into this chest, and the metal goes into this chest, and concrete goes into this chest. We also have a bar that shows how full the chest is, and we can check concrete only went into this chest. Also, if the chest is filled, it will emit a signal as well. Then there is the auto crafter, which we need to connect to 2 chests. This one has metal, this one has scrap wood, and the auto crafter has a metal block. And if I turn this thing on, it will now suck scrap metal out of this chest, convert it to metal, and pump it into this chest. See? If we paint the auto crafter white, it will become an auto recycler, and now will suck out metal and convert it back into scrap metal. And then there's a large item container, which is really huge and can store more than 100,000 blocks. These changes and new blocks open the game up to so many more possibilities. You could build item sorting systems, automation systems, or even a whole factory. We've got a daylight sensor now, so if I change the time of day to night, it activates the lamps. We've also got the Succomatic now, which we can use to suck to the ground and build vehicles like these. Additionally, we've got an icon frame to display almost every item in the game. We've also got logo frames to display these logos, and we can even use these logos to illuminate the area, even on the other side. With the seed input converter, we can detect the WASD keys and also whether the player is in the seed or not. and the angle sensor activates if it's tilted down. We also get new things for defense, such as the tank cannon, which can shoot explosives from the boombox container, which can hold small explosives and large explosives. Small explosives are for short-range shots. Small explosives are for short-range shots. Large explosives are for long-range shots. Hey, I finally hit him. The chemical cannon needs chemicals from a chemical container and shoots the chain chemical clouds that the farm bot shoots. A mountable shotgun is pretty much just a mountable shotgun. Yay! The robot detector will show us the name and health of our enemies. So if I spawn a toad bot, we can now see its name and its health, and it takes 3 hits to kill. Tesla coils need batteries from a battery container, and they will hurt you and bots, but I'm currently in God mode so I don't take damage. So if I spawn a raid right now, we can see these things in action. And yeah, this is pretty good farm defense. Well, as long as you have batteries. We also can use weapon racks now to change the speed, range and damage of the hammer. The farm bot also seems to be immune against hammers. We've got new transportation devices as well. First there's the steam engine, which can burn all types of wood from scrap wood to wood level 3 and amber, and we need to connect it to a water container as well. It works like any other engine but isn't very powerful, even at maximum level. But I think a steam engine is pretty cool. Next up we have propellers, which will create thrust when they spin. We can use propellers to move a car, to build flying devices, and to build boats. But a gas engine at maximum power is a bit strong. Yay, it's a flying machine, not a boat. There are also a bunch of wing pieces so we can build an actually working airplane. And last but not least we have the chemical lift engine, which you need to connect to a chemical container. Make sure to connect one button to the engine first, then use a logic gate to connect to the engine, set the logic gate to NAND gate, use a button to connect to the logic gate, and then connect these buttons to the driver's seat, because then you can use the button 1 to ascend and button 2 to descend. Well, and this thing can be pretty powerful. But yeah, once you adjusted the right level, you could use those propellers to move in the air, like with a real airship. And of course there are new wheels in all forms and sizes. And then there are universal grinders. Well, these can kill bots as well. They can cut trees and mine stone. On to the last things. We have a smoker that currently does nothing, but I think it's supposed to render smoke particle effects. Then we have a campfire, into which we can put wok steaks, and if we wait a while we get cooked wok meat. Then there's also a miner, which requires gasoline from a gas container, and then produces us metal and stone. The oil press requires chemicals from a chemical container and seeds from a seed container and produces oil. And lastly, we'll devour the new food items. Roasted wok steak. Yum 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 yum. Well, that does almost nothing. Red wok energy drink. 250 milliliters. Fast moo. Well, this thing actually has a special effect. And it doesn't do a lot of thirst, but it gives us a speed boost and we are much, much faster than probably my car. But yeah, that's pretty cool. It lasts 30 seconds and, well, it's almost over. Hungry, grab a toad bots. Warning, may contain traces of stainless steel. Let's enjoy that one. Well, it does almost nothing, but it gives us a damage buff, which means we now deal double damage for 30 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Just 3 hits for a haybot. And the holy McFlies. Very delicious, but they are going to make you feel a bit bloated. If I jump a lot higher. That is some pretty high jump. I think we found Mario's secret. So that's it for the Fant Mod. Well, not really, it's crazy how much new stuff gets added. I had a lot of fun playing around with this mod, so just go and get it and I promise you survival will never be the same again. I'll also leave a comment with links to the mods and info on how to install mods. Stick around for the outtakes and subscribe if you want more scrap mechanic. As wheel, as... no god, this is so bad. Stone... oh god. Ah. And cotton. So I thought... okay, this is bad. Oh no, oh god. Maybe you'll enjoy some of my other videos too.